So, The Watchers is the directorial debut of Ishana Night Shyamalan, the daughter of M Night Shyamalan, and I was just really interested to see this film because, directorial debut got a pretty big budget, it seems like, because of her name. So I wanted to see if, it was kind of worth that. And I think it was. Let me get into it. I think the concept of this film is really strong. I had a great time with it. I mean, I know it's based on a book, but still, it's a great book to pick to adapt into a film. And also beautiful, beautiful cinematography, beautiful location, but I think the cinematography here really worked just visually. It was nice to look at, but also scary because it just kind of felt endless. And I don't want to describe it more because you should go and see the movie and find out for yourself what I mean by how it feels endless, And in terms of this film, I kind of see it as the first hour and 20 minutes and then the final 20 minutes. First hour and 20 minutes was a really solid horror movie. Like a 3-star, teetering on even 3.5-star, just solid horror film. And the final 20 minutes kind of ruined it for me. This first bit of the film, even though I felt like the monsters were sort of these one-trick ponies where they just kind of did the same trick over and over and over again, and somehow it fooled the characters every single time without fail. I don't know how that works, but okay, monsters, you do your one-trick pony thing and you characters keep falling for it because that's believable. But still, it held this tension. And it held my attention because of that tension really well. I was glued to this film for an hour and 20 minutes of it, and then there's the final 20, where it felt like the film could have ended, but then it didn't end, and then you kept sitting there like, why is this film not ending? And then you realize why it's not ending, and it's just kind of silly. And you find out all of this new information in these final 20 minutes of the film that you don't find out earlier in the film. So you're just having it all dropped on you and then it being paid off right after, but it doesn't sit with you long enough for it to actually feel like a payoff. It just felt like a really cheap, excuse to throw in a plot twist because, there has to be a plot twist in this film because it's a Shyamalan film. That's what it felt like. And I know it's based on a book. So I would guess that these 20 minutes are like a solid, 50 to 100 pages in the book. And, the payoff works a little more. But just here in the film, it's condensed into being a film. So it just doesn't work the same really at all. And the issue with that too is that you can't ever go back and watch this film and sort of try to see where they hint at the plot twist because they don't hint at these twists until right before they happen. So the payoff is just really bad and left an awful taste in my mouth for this film and dropped it from being a possible 3.5-star horror film that I left and I was like, oh my god, I highly recommend this, to a 2.5, just mid-tier horror movie. And that just really disappoints me personally. But on the positive side, you do have some really good performances here that I just want to touch up on before we go. Dakota Fanning is the star of this film, and I think that she carries this film really well. I enjoyed her performance, but I think the person who really steals this film, at least in my opinion, is this guy named Oliver Finnegan. And you'll see the character who he plays if you watch this film. He reminds me of a younger Bill Skarsgård. I just feel like he carries himself in a very similar way. It's like, I hope that studios go to him when they're like, oh, we have this character who we wish that Bill Skarsgård would play, but he's a little too young and it just wouldn't be believable. So who can we get? Oh, let's go get Oliver Finnegan, because he just kind of has that niche type of talent where he's just like normal, but like has that little thing, that little just like something's off. Like he's so close to being there, but just something's a little off. And it's just perfect, you know, it's so Bill Skarsgård to me. Anyways, with that being said, I already said the rating already, but 2.5 stars. Yeah, I'm disappointed, really, with this film, because I was feeling so good about it for the longest time. But, oh well. With that being said, what about all of you? What did you think of The Watchers? Do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree? Please feel free to start a discussion in the comments down below. And while you're at it, feel free to like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do down there as well. I'll see you all in the next movie review. Take care.